Adidas is probing claims of inappropriate behavior by Kanye West. The sportswear brand said on Thursday it launched the probe after receiving an anonymous letter making several allegations against the musician, who now goes by Ye. Just last month, Adidas ended its partnership with the rapper and fashion designer after Ye made anti-Semitic comments that the brand deemed unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous. They had a fashion collaboration branded Yeezy. The investigation follows a report by Rolling Stone magazine published on Tuesday, which detailed multiple alleged incidents of inappropriate behavior by Ye towards staff and prospective employees. Among them, playing pornography to Yeezy's staff, including his own sex tape. According to the magazine, former Yeezy and Adidas staff sent an anonymous letter to Adidas claiming senior leaders at the company were aware of Ye's behavior but, quote, turned their moral compass off. In a statement to Reuters, an Adidas spokesman said, "It is currently not clear whether the accusations made in an anonymous letter are true. However, we take these allegations very seriously and have taken the decision to launch an independent investigation of the matter immediately to address the allegations." Ye could not immediately be reached for comment.
Thousands of British nurses will go on strike in December, according to the union on Friday. An unprecedented move in the union's century-long history, coming on the cusp of what looks to be a tough winter for Britain's National Health Service. The nurses say it's the first of several possible walkouts in a dispute over pay and unsafe staffing levels as the UK sinks deeper into its cost of living crisis. Nurse Chukwudibem Ifejuna works for the NHS in southern England and says he'll be joining.
I've had to cut down on a lot of things with the kids, which I can't afford to provide for them because of the high cost of living. So it's really, really tough for everyone, not just myself, my colleagues out there. You've got few nurses leaving as well to go and work in supermarkets because they will be paid better.
Pay rises for nurses have failed to keep up with inflation, soaring at 10%. Downing Street says demands for extra spending on the NHS to raise staff pay to 5% above inflation were simply not affordable. Now the Royal College of Nursing, representing 300,000 nurses, has voted to strike, joining picket lines also growing in Britain's rail, postal and education sectors. The winter ahead also looks especially tough for the NHS. There's a record backlog of 7 million patients amid the global health crisis. Billy Palmer at the Nuffield Trust Health think tank says morale is low as patient care has been put at risk.
You've got a lot of people leaving because of being under too much pressure, for example, or those who are considering leaving, they often cite issues around not having enough staff to do a good job, for example.
Despite being passionate about his job, his patients and his colleagues, Ifejuna says he has sometimes considered quitting too.
But each time I've had the thoughts, I sort of had to pause for a minute and say, I can't leave my patients, I can't leave my colleagues to suffer alone.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump has been sued for a second time by X magazine writer E.Jean Carroll. She's accused Trump of lying by denying that he raped her nearly 30 years ago, and in a complaint filed in Manhattan federal court on Thursday, she also accused Trump of battery in a Manhattan department store. Carroll brought the battery claim under New York's Adult Survivors Act, a new law that gives sexual assault victims a one-year window to sue their alleged abusers, even if the abuse occurred long ago and statutes of limitations have expired. Thanksgiving Thursday was the first day accusers could sue. Trump has denied raping Carroll or knowing her at the time. On October 12th, he called Carroll's claim a hoax and a lie on his Truth Social account, prompting Carroll's new defamation claim. Both sides are awaiting court decisions addressing Trump's claims that he was legally immune from Carroll's first lawsuit because he had spoken in his capacity as president, but that likely wouldn't affect her second lawsuit as Trump is no longer in office.
Mishak Odion is on his way to an ICT class in his school library. But today, the technology on show is an app that can help him read. Blind since birth, the 17-year-old attends a school for visually impaired children in Nigeria's megacity, Lagos. The aspiring musician has worried about what the world would hold for him with Braille as his only means of reading.
Actually, I would prefer this app because there are many things that I will see outside there, and maybe it will not be in Braille, it may be in sighted, so this app will help me to recognize it.
Odeon's renewed hope is thanks to a Nigerian startup called Vinsight. Its team has developed several products, including a mobile app that translates text to audio. That software, CEO Kolawole Tomi explains, is now being remodeled into a hardware eyeglass.
The hardware glasses, is pretty much leveraging the same technology as the software, but at an optimized level. And what this glasses pretty much does is that it helps those who are vision impaired to be able to read, one, identify objects, scenes, and colors around them, also identify currency, and also over time, the glass is going to be able to help improve visual acuity.
Kolawole says he became curious about how tech could help the visually impaired after an acquaintance at university told him about a friend who had been forced to drop out of school. A little over 15% of the world's blind population resides in Africa, according to the World Health Organization. Vinsight says its products are used in schools and institutions and estimates it has reached about 5,000 people.
When a Russian missile struck this Kyiv neighborhood on Wednesday, Nina Vlasiuk says she was at home with her 10-year-old daughter. She shielded her child until it was all over. What do I do next, she asks. She says there's no power, heating, or water to her home, which has been severely damaged in the blast. Russia's latest missile barrage killed 10 people and shut down all of Ukraine's nuclear power plants for the first time in 40 years, plunging the country into its worst nationwide power outages yet, as well as into freezing darkness. Authorities have been working to get the lights and heat back on, as well as to restart 3 nuclear plants in Ukrainian-held territory. As for the vast Zaporizhzhia plant in Russian-held territory, it had to activate backup diesel power, but was reconnected on Thursday. Moscow has carried out similar attacks on energy targets about once a week since early October, but these are believed to be the most devastating so far. It's forced doctors to perform surgery in the middle of power outages. These surgeons completed an open-heart operation on a 3-month-old baby during a blackout. They say the choice was either to do nothing and allow the baby to die, or try to operate. On Wednesday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky appealed to the UN Security Council to take action to stop Russian airstrikes. But Russia wields a veto on the council, so there's no prospect of action. Moscow acknowledges attacking basic infrastructure in what it calls a special military operation, saying its aim is to reduce Ukraine's ability to fight and push it to negotiate. Kyiv says the attacks are clearly intended to harm civilians, making it a war crime. A Kremlin spokesperson on Thursday denied launching any strikes on Kyiv targets, attributing damage in the capital to fallout from air defense systems.